What's happening, YouTube? It's still Monday. It's like the most eventful Monday I've had in ages. And I guess I should check the date because this is definitely going to be a different video. November 21st, 2022, 6:37 p.m. I thought I finally got my clock on my dashboard in sync with real time, but that guy on the motorcycle driving like an idiot. Look at that. Yeah. Wonder how much longer that guy's gonna live. Anyway, I thought I got it on time, but no, it's only a minute behind now. So I'm gonna have to try to remember exactly what it was I did to get it there and bump it up another minute, or maybe I'll just ignore it and in due time it'll be 2 minutes behind. Anyway, I kind of had to stop vlogging after getting to Bullocks because the iPhone was just about out of charge and the Obama phone was completely out of space. So catch up on what all happened today, and I would have loved to have shot some more video of it, but when I'm out of juice or I'm out of space, it just kind of is what it is. The car in front of me doesn't have much in the way of taillights. Look at that. Back end is dark. Have to excuse me, I'm trying to make sure I'm safe coming over. It's the worst thing about exiting here at 75th Avenue is I got to get across all these lanes of traffic coming over from the 202. And by now I should know I don't need to go all the way to that lane because that lane ends, but I still do it from time to time. Unloaded both speakers at Bullocks, and it ends up being a good thing I did because I did get the Laserdisc collection, and it barely fit in the car. So had I decided to keep one speaker, there would have not been room. I would have had to take another trip to get the Laserdiscs, and that would have sucked. So traffic just suddenly kicked up again. Anyway, while I was in there, I was just kind of looking around, trying to think, where would I put another speaker up on a stand, and I'm still kind of unclear as to how or if I'm going to use it there, but I don't know. I think I'll just try to come in a little early on Thursday and figure that out then. Although I still don't know for sure if I'm working Thursday. I'm just going to kind of count on it, since this Thursday is Thanksgiving. But I'm pretty darn sure that the bar will be open normal hours. Generally speaking, Bullocks does not shut down for holidays, and a lot of times holidays end up being busier than normal days just because a couple of reasons. The two biggest ones being we do have an older crowd in there, so I'm sure we get a handful of like empty nesters and single people that live far from their family, and rather than being alone on Thanksgiving or Christmas, hey, let's go hang out with the family at the bar. So I'm sure that's a pretty big portion of it. And then I know there's a lot of other people that on, say, Thanksgiving or Christmas spend the first half of the day with their family, and after several hours of being surrounded by extended family have had about enough of that and are just ready to go to the bar. I don't know. I expect we'll probably actually have a pretty good turnout for Thanksgiving. I'm looking forward to it regardless. But yeah, I figure on Thursday I'll figure out what the hell I'm doing with that extra speaker. I got a couple of thoughts in mind of where I might put it, but of course I'm limited to how much XLR cable I have as far as like where I can put it, and of course I also have to be able to get power to it since it's powered speakers. But it's not like extension cords. Power extension cords are prohibitively expensive, and one thing that's definitely stuck with me from my last trip to my last trip to Walmart. I actually went to 2 Walmarts on Sunday morning, which I guess was yesterday morning. It feels like it's been longer since then. It's just so much has happened since yesterday morning. But anyway, the one thing that's really stuck with me is that for $11 I can get a 10-foot XLR cable at Walmart. I never thought I would see the day that I could buy XLR cables at Walmart. Now, as far as the quality of them, I don't know. But even if they're only of kind of mediocre quality, as long as they work, I'm good. Generally speaking, even I've had a lot of times for stuff that I've done, I've used XLR cable that I've just scored that other people have left behind. It's looked to be in rough shape, but it's worked good. I mean, generally speaking, if all your connections are good on XLR, even if the shielding isn't so good, because of the way XLR cables send a negative audio signal and a positive audio signal, you just really don't get interference with them. So, not that I'm planning on buying one of those ones at Walmart, but it's something to keep in mind, since it used to be if I needed XLR cable and I didn't have enough, I needed to. There was no doing it in a pinch. I'd have to order it from. Well, I'd either have to order it from. Generally speaking, I've been for years. I've been buying my XLR cables from monoprice.com, but of course that takes a little while to show up. And of course, my other option has always been to go and get it at Guitar Center. And the quality of the cables that I've got, the XLR cables I've got at Guitar Center, have always been very good, but they are pricey. So, look at all the people coming in for shift tonight. Kind of tripping that I wasn't here last night. It's been very, very few Sundays that I've not worked. But, and I wasn't able to get any vacation leave or VTO or anything, so I just ended up using my UPT. I figure, what the hell, that's what it's for. Definitely had a better night last night and made a whole lot more money doing the party at Cafe Monarch. So anyway, I'm here. I need to actually not too pressed for time. It's 6:44. I had a minute on at 6:45, but yeah, I think I want to get myself inside. Maybe get myself something to eat because I haven't really ate much today. But yeah, after I left Volux, went to the and left both speakers there. I went to the Wells Fargo Bank over at Christown. I haven't been to that one in quite some time. In fact, it's been so long since I've been there that I'm kind of out of the loop. They no longer offer service inside. Kind of dumbfounded by that. Like at the entrance, there's a sign like kind of blocking the door that says drive-up banking only. And it's not ATM only, it's actual drive-up banking. Like, I dealt with a teller, but I was doing it through a drive-up window, which is something I hardly ever do. And I asked what that was about, and they said they were just short-handed. So I'm a little skeptical of that. I got a feeling it probably has a little to do with just how ghetto that area has become. But I'm sure being short-handed has something to do with it as well. But it really does frustrate me when, granted, I've got a car, I was able to drive up, but most times I've gone to that particular bank branch, I haven't been driving. Most times when I go to that branch, I'm on foot, and I'm stopping there in between getting off the light rail and getting onto a bus. And it really frustrates me when businesses stop providing services to pedestrians and people that aren't driving a motor vehicle. And I would love to see more legislation just making that illegal, like what Baton Rouge has done, because it really is a form of discrimination. And yeah, I would have been really upset if I needed to do my banking today and I was using public transit and wasn't able to go inside. And I highly doubt that the drive-up teller would have wanted to service me, although I'd have tried. I would have definitely tried. But anyway, yeah, deposited my check from Cafe Monarch, and withdrew enough money to. There were two prices that were discussed with. Keep in mind, it's kind of awkward the dealing with the people with the Laserdisc, because I've talked to her husband, and then I talked to her, and I forget their names, and I suppose it doesn't really matter. But at one point, generally the wife had been the one texting me. But then at one point, like after the text, the husband had called me, and there was a price that was agreed to on the text. But then the next time I talked to later when I talked to the husband, I think he had asked if I would pay $100 more, and I think I said yes. Anyway, I went with the amount that was on the text, and she happily accepted it and didn't even question if there was supposed to be more. So, although it seems like there's a few less discs in the boxes now. But I never really inventoried them, when I went through them. I just kind of looked through them, and I'm still finding all kinds of good stuff. I got a steal for this collection, no matter what. But I am going to be a little frustrated. There were a couple of very specific discs that I saw in the collection, and I am going to be a little frustrated if, when I finally get the time to go through them all, those particular discs aren't there. But cross that bridge when I come to it. Anyway, on that note, I need to get inside. But yeah, did get the collection. Never did make it to my storage, so I've got my damn subwoofer and my projection screen with me. But everything else got unloaded at Bullocks. But yeah, pretty freaking awesome day. When I got home, my daughter was being a little on the sullen side. I was complaining about the dirtiness of the bathroom and Bugs. She's like, well, what can I do about that? I'm like, well, you could clean the bathroom. She didn't like that suggestion. So she's off staying the night with friends. And, that's fine. At this point, if she's not interested to help out with cleaning around the apartment, especially considering that she doesn't have a job, she doesn't even have a car, and she's not particularly looking for work now that she doesn't have her car, if she can't be bothered to help with some cleaning around the apartment, when I really don't have the time to do much of it because I'm working 2 jobs and typically work 60 hours a week, if she can't be bothered to at least do some basic cleaning, that's fine. Let her. She can stay with her friends, or she can stay with these sugar daddies she tells me about. Although the more she tells me about her situations with her sugar daddies, all I can think of is that sketch from Kids in the Hall about how it's just horrible